The 7 last words of love. Preparation for resurrection. Luke 23:43 says, Verily I say unto you, today thou shalt be with me in paradise. As we consider the resurrection season and also the global pandemic, there are 3 things that we want to underline for you. The first one is, in relationships and in love, the importance of talking. Now, fortunately, we don't have to be within 6 feet of each other to have a loving conversation, both with our families, with our spouses, and with those who we might come in contact through via media. We can still have meaningful conversations. Let me remind you that conversation is a dialogue, not a monologue. We need to listen as well as speak. We may have never noticed that Jesus took the time to talk to the dying man on the cross beside him. So first, if we are going to love in these times of preparing for resurrection, we need to know the importance of crucial conversations, talking. Number 2, we need to remember the importance of time. He said today. Many Navy SEALs and military persons know the importance of winning the day. We need to also learn that in our loving relationships. What good, what kind, what right thing can I do for someone today? He told the man dying beside him today, which meant that in spite of what he had gone through that week, in spite of what he was going through right then, he knew that there was something else that he could do, even on a cross, with nails in his hands and feet, and soon to be pierced in the side. He still had something he could get accomplished today. We also need to have an agenda. And I could remind you, if you don't set your agenda, someone else will set it for you. Today is very important. Discover what you can do for God, what you can do for others, and what you can do for yourself to demonstrate God's love today, spiritually, mentally, physically, and financially. And lastly, after focusing on our time, after focusing on today, we should also focus on a target. He said, today you will be with me in paradise. If you don't know where you're going, any place will do. Jesus knew he was headed to paradise, even after what he had gone through, even after what he was going through right then, and he wasn't satisfied to go by himself. He loved the man on the cross beside him enough to say, today you will be with me in paradise. We need to have a target. What are we aiming at? Where are we going? And we need to be leaning that way. Otherwise, we might end up anywhere. And I might underline, as it relates to our target, it's not about perfection, it's about direction. Do you know where you're going to? Today, you can be with God in paradise. You don't have to worry about yesterday. You don't have to worry about tomorrow if you know what God can do for you today. And lastly, when the Bible talks about love, and when God tells us to love our neighbors as ourselves, we often get Eros confused with Agape. Most of the times in our world today, when someone is talking about love, they're talking about what I call a tingly sensation, something that sounds good to you, looks good to you, smells good to you, or tastes good to you. But when the Bible talks about love, it's talking about no matter what you do, no matter what you say, I'm going to love you anyway. That is the kind of love that we need to remember to practice in this resurrection season. May the Lord bless you real good. Have a blessed resurrection season.
With coronavirus taking center stage in everyone's actions and thoughts, Village Give, Bottles for Life and his partners have decided to provide the elderly and others with a bit of hope and encouragement. Their latest initiative is the purchase and cancellation of over $2 million in consumer debt by Easter Sunday, April 12, 2020. Debt cancellation letters have been mailed to residences throughout the country due to the contributions and gifts from several pastors, churches, nonprofit organizations, and other passionate contributors who desire to help those in time of need. Our next endeavor is to pay off $10 million in debt by Pentecost Sunday, May 31st, 2020. For more information and to learn how you can participate and bless a life, go to www.bottlesforlife.org. It is truly amazing what can be done when we work together for a common goal that helps others.
He was betrayed by those he loved and crucified for our sins. He was buried in a borrowed tomb, but on the third day, he rose with all power. It began with Jesus being accused, betrayed, beaten, and mocked. My God, why have you forsaken me? I thirst. It is finished. We Are the Church 2.org. Join us this 50-day journey between Resurrection Sunday and Pentecost Sunday, May 31st, where you will receive words of encouragement via email and social media. We will conclude with our culminating online celebration, Pentecost Sunday, 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, where you will hear from some of today's most dynamic and empowering ministers and speakers. Replay will be available for the following 24 hours. We Are the Church 2.0. Go to www.wearethechurch2.org or via social media to see how you can be a part of this amazing rebirth of the Church 2.0.